It is November 17th, 2021. Year to date, I'd like to hear someone point out, show me one policy that makes sense for the middle class that came out of the White House or the Federal Reserve. Just one policy. Please write it down in the description box of this video. Let me know. I don't see one, and I don't see any in the near future. Again, this is not being negative or overall doom and gloom or any of that. It's just reality, okay? So people continue sitting on their hands. They continue to ignore the obvious. It is going to get ugly for a lot of people, okay? These supply chain issues that we are witnessing are not stopping. They are getting worse. I see empty car lots everywhere I go. I don't know what the deal with that is, if it has to do with shortages of chips that have been reported in the last several months. Just a lot of weird stuff. I talk to a lot of people in food industry now, since I'm connected with farming business, and the stories that I hear are just, it's hard to believe. But then when you hear it, like I said, from so many people, then you start realizing it is happening, and unfortunately you haven't seen anything yet. I believe the commodities super cycle is here. It's here to stay. The inflation is going to continue running in areas that you need the most, which is energy and food. So overall commodities, futures, wheat, corn, sugar, coffee, you name it. Obviously oil, uranium, precious metals that are still lacking, especially silver and platinum, which I believe are the two most undervalued assets in the world, especially silver. Both are under, they are 50% under their all-time highs, while everything else is skyrocketing. You cannot find a sector that is not at a 52-week high or it's sliced through it. I mean, it is just unbelievable. And the way it's going, this can continue on for several years. This market might have a pullback of 10%, jump back up. I used to believe at the beginning of the year, if you follow this video blog, you know I've been talking about there is a potential 50, 60, 70%, maybe even higher sell-off coming when the change of regime took place in January. It was red for about 2 weeks almost straight, but nothing, major. The market continues to go up. So I started tweeting about I'm entering back in all these different sectors, trying to take profits out. Obviously being very cautious, but at the same time, I am not anymore on this bearish train. We're going to have a deflation in the equities. It just looks like the Fed Reserve is officially, and all central banks, with the help from the GOVs globally, they're not stopping with easy money and everything that's going on. This is not looking like deflationary pressures are coming from anywhere. It is commodities, super cycle. I would not be surprised if, for instance, gold gets revalued to some astronomical amount, kind of where Bitcoin is today. It is possible. When you see oil, it happened, I believe, a year ago in March when the crude went negative, and we never got crude oil to zero, and then it went like, you were getting paid to take delivery, $38 per barrel. When I've seen that, I believe anything is possible right now. So I'm continuing to ignore all the talking heads on social media, continuing to prepare. Food is key before you do anything else. This is not financial investment, trading advice. It is common sense. Look around. You cannot ignore what has been going on any longer. If you are, and if you continue thinking that all of a sudden things are going to change for better tomorrow, you are out of your mind. Okay, again, channel is not to scare you. This channel is to prepare you. If you get stuck with being self-sufficient in so many ways, so what if things don't get much worse? You get stuck with extra food that has long shelf life, so what? You get stuck with 24 karat gold. That's a huge problem to have, I hear. I mean, it is, people just make it as it's so hard to get rid of. It's no, gold is very liquid. It does not matter what price in fiat is. There is always someone who is going to buy gold from you, no matter where you go in the world. It is the most liquid asset in the world. Of course, it's easier to send a gazillion dollars with cryptos and what they're doing right now. If you want to send it, let's say, from United States to India and all that, instead of taking 10,000 kilos of gold, yeah, invest in both, but understand the risks. Just understand the risks and understand buying low and selling high. If you are holding precious metals, it is not even an investment. It is just wealth preserving, sleep better at night type of asset. It's what it is. When it comes to equities, like precious metals equities, it's a total speculation. You can pick some of these junior mines, they can 10x or they can just go to zero overnight. It's a speculation. Obviously, if you pick something like Barrick Gold that also has a little bit of dividends, that's going to be, I believe, a very solid play in this decade. But if you're going to speculate in anything in the stock market, understand your risks. So things that are real, like cows, whatever other, you got freezer space with frozen chicken in there, turkeys, you got the generator, that's real stuff, okay? A real gold in your hands, silver, whatever it is. Fancy or cheap wine, you have it stored somewhere. You got cigars, you got whiskeys, scotches, all of that is real stuff. And a lot of people don't understand it. They believe that paper or digits on a screen rich is going to be here forever. Understand, you will own nothing and be happy. It is not a joke, okay? These people are sick. What is going on is unbelievable. Americans in particular have not witnessed any significant downturn. In 2008, when we had financial crisis, a lot of people that are trading right now, obviously I'm talking mostly Robinhood, they were 10 years old at the time, if that. And that was not even that bad because central banks, of course led by the legendary Fed Reserve, jumped in and they did all the money printing and everything went back to normal, and now the bubble is bigger than ever. So that was not even that bad. Unless, of course, you bought at the top of the market a lot of real estate, like in Las Vegas, for instance, you got hurt for sure. But other than that, a lot of people have no idea. They were not alive definitely in the 70s. If they were 10 years old like I was. I had nothing about it. I knew nothing about it. I do remember what happened when I was in my teens during hyperinflationary time back in Europe. I remember like it was yesterday. I don't know if it's going to happen in the United States. Most likely it won't, but the probabilities now are higher than ever. And if it's not hyperinflation, it will be whatever inflation you want to call it. Whatever inflation you want to call it. Big inflation, mediocre inflation, stagflation. If you are looking at the consumer price index, the CPI, that's over 10%, year over year, a lot of people are going broke. Middle class is being decimated before our eyes. We all know the CPI, because taxes, energy, rent, food is not included, is completely rigged. It's over 6% right now, but we all know it's way higher than that. Look at the food prices. So CPI is way higher. It's probably between 15 and 20%, and this is done by Shadow Stats, by John Williams. Take a look at those numbers. It is not pulled out of the hat. It is done based on how inflation used to be measured. So all of this right now, people just ignore the elephant in the room. Cat is out of the bag, ladies and gentlemen. Just recently, all over mainstream news, I believe his name is Jeffrey Curry out of Goldman Sachs. He was out on mainstream media talking about shortages of goods. He's talking about this supply chain issue, lack of supply, especially of commodities. chip shortages. He's comparing 2008 financial crisis and what it is today, how different it is. It was a very short video. I'll try to find it and post the link so you guys can take a listen. Cat is out of the bag. Inflation is not transitory. Prepare. Look into some maybe ETFs, agriculture ETFs or anything like this. I believe this is you got to do something, but mostly, like I said, real things are where a lot of people will learn the difference between value and price, and that means price in fiat currency. Okay, value and price, totally two different things. Take care. Right now I only have an extra play right now in STKL is a stock ticker. This is my short-term play. I got some shipping carriers that I'm getting pretty much destroyed. GNK, I exited Euroseas right before a few days ago, which is really good because it plunged another 15%. But I'm holding on to GNK for another week or two, see what it's going to do. This was my 1 to 3 months play, but all of a sudden it took that big turn. And as you know what I say on my channel, do not get married to speculative plays. Do not turn speculation plays into investments, okay? That's totally a waste of time and money. This will help you a lot if you understand that. So I'm looking to exit GNK now. SBLK is another shipping carrier that I have. That one is down only 4% for me right now. I think that one is fine. It also has good dividends. So we'll see. So those are, like I said, not playing out too well. So this new play, I put a gamble in for a short-term gamble, because that's what speculations are. They are gamble. And hopefully this one works out really good. And you know what I'll do. If I see a quick jump, 20%, I'm out, and I use those profits to buy real things. So we will talk soon. I will write all these stock tickers, and I got a couple of natural gas plays that I'm in as well. Those are flat, nothing really going on with those, so I will wait a little longer with those. So I will write them all for you, and it is not investing advice, okay? You do your own due diligence, please. We will talk soon. So long from the Independence Arc. Take care.